Hey, welcome to Stop the Idiot. I am the idiot, aka the huge one, Dave Koco from KocoSports.com or KocoSports.net. It takes you to the same places where the world comes to kick ass, your home for combat sports, and where, above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And I stuttered through that. It's been a while. Sorry I haven't been on YouTube more often. Working two full-time jobs, having a lot of family drama, but I'm back. And this is a video that I didn't know if I should make, or an audio video or a podcast, whatever you want to call this, because it's just like, how do I run an indie fed better? Oh, tips on how to run an indie fed. And it's weird because like it's one of those videos that I think a lot of people need to hear, or whatever, it's weird doing an audio video, but it's something that people need to hear, but they don't want to. A lot of indie promoters, especially the bad ones, don't want to listen to advice and don't want to listen to tips. So you wonder if it's going to be on deaf ears. And it's weird because the more successful ones will probably be more like, oh, let's listen to what he has to say. But the ones drawing like 10 people, 20 people, they'll be like, oh no, why he doesn't know jack shit. It's a weird vibe with wrestling promoters sometimes. But I got this question enough, and just here's some tips. Coco hacks, how to make your indie fed better. A lot of this stuff will cost a little bit of money, but it will be really low on the cheap. I promoted on as cheap as possible, and I got to work with TNA, WWE, WWE a lot actually, the Dudley School, and we had legends come in all the time, and we just ran on a really small budget, a tremendously low budget, and we just did great things. So this is not for the super successful Ring of Honor's pro wrestling gorillas. They fucking know what they're doing. These are for the indies that run monthly or weekly. And first, Coco hack: only run monthly or weekly. It's so much easier to advertise if you run weekly or monthly. This bi-weekly shit, no, don't do that. It's monthly or weekly, that's it. That's the first Coco hack. But yeah, so I make this knowing that the people that need it most actually fucking hate it. And be like, you don't fucking know jack shit. I knew I outdrawed John Cena with less than $500. I knew I outdrew a lot of Ring of Honor superstars for less than $500. So this is just tips on small indies that can help improve. And it might go on deaf ears. It might really go on deaf ears. The problem is you run an indie fed and you think you know everything. And yeah, so let's start. I guess there's 10 plus tips here, or whatever you want, plus more. This is just advice I would give to a young promoter. Every state is different. The laws always change. I know it's a pain in the ass, but find out what is legal and illegal and insurance for your state. Running in New York, there's a lot more laws than running in Florida. Your state might not have any laws. The thing is, definitely find out the laws, because you don't want it to be shut down by the cops or the police, not cops or firefighters, all that. And the worst thing is, definitely find out insurance. Sometimes the building has insurance and will cover all events. Sometimes you have to get your own insurance. And it could be a pretty penny in some states. It could be a real expense in some states. But you don't want a guy to get injured in your show, and then you're just like, oh, fuck it, we got nothing, pal. I got fucking $3 in the fucking hot dog stand. So I know it's such a shitty fucking tip to go off, but every state is different, and a lot of wrestlers, they could get injured. They could get hurt. Something could go wrong. Make sure that you have insurance. A lot of the bigger buildings will supply insurance, but every state is different, so make sure. And on top of that, with health and safety, have a good fucking ring. Nothing sucks more than seeing wrestlers bust their ass in the shittiest fucking ring. These are expensive things, and I believe these are things that you should have to be a promoter. I'm making this video to help indies. And a bunch of indies were like, well, I can't buy an expensive ring. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be a fucking promoter. I mean, I don't want to be a dick here. I want to help out, but no one should be fucking breaking her back and neck because they're fucking, basically fucking wrestling on a fucking cement block with some goddamn garden hoses. My suggestion, and they're not sponsored, high spots. I'd get a high spots ring. I heard good things about, I think, Monster Factory. Don't quote me on that. But get a good fucking ring. High spots usually makes a good ring. And if you have smaller wrestlers and smaller buildings, get the smaller ring. It just looks better, and it makes wrestlers look bigger than they really are, and it fits in more buildings. And make sure you get in a ring that fits in the building you're running at. A lot of you are going to be like, this is common sense. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. You see this shit in the indies all the fucking time. They have 5-foot fucking wrestlers and running in a fucking 40 by 40 goddamn ring and a fucking building that can't fucking fit the ring. Dude, a lot of this video, you'll be like, this is common sense. But no, it's not. You run into fucking indies all the time. But have a good ring. Another big thing is pay. Pay. A lot of indie promoters are like, well, Vince McMahon's character's a fucking douche, and Eric Bischoff on television was a douche, and yeah, I'm going to be a fucking con artist. Dude, don't be a fucking con artist, you piece of shit. This is a fucking rule. I don't care what you agree upon. Whatever you agree upon. If some wrestlers wrestle as low as for free, 10, 20, 30, 40, up to $5,000 plus dollars. I have this as a strict fucking rule. If you are a wrestling promoter, you have everyone's salary, everyone that you agreed upon. Don't fuck people out of money. Don't, if they work for free, they work for free. Hey, dude, people got to get experience. I'm not saying that everyone deserves to get paid. I'm saying if you promise someone $20, you fucking have that $20 when you enter the building. If you promise someone $5,000, you have that $5,000 that you enter into the building. You should have everyone's pay as soon as you walk into the building. Now, some rosters, they have a strict salary cap. I had a real strict salary cap and had to turn people down. Sometimes a strict salary cap helps you. Just be like, this is how much we're going to spend on the show, and we can't afford you. We can't afford you. I ran my company with a really strict salary cap, and I had to tell people that I respected and loved, no, this is what we offer. And they're like, well, I can't work for that. Be like, all right, go about your business. What you don't do is fucking be like, yeah, okay, I agree to the fucking $200. And be like, oh, sorry, the gate was low. Here's 20. It's bullshit. It is fucking bullshit. Be a goddamn professional. And I don't care. If I could just be honest with them. Be like, hey, dude, we fucking wrestle in front of 6 fucking people in a goddamn garage. You're going to get $10 or nothing. And they're like, well, I'm a professional. I can't work for $10. Well, sorry, move along. Here's the thing. There's a lot of pro wrestlers. They deserve to get paid what you agreed upon. Now, let's flip the script. If you decide to pay a wrestler, I'm making up an amount here, $100. And then you have the goddamn Woodstock of indie events, and there's thousands and thousands of people there. You just pay him $100. If he says, oh, well, look how many people are here, fuck off. If there was 0 people here, would you give me a discount? No. There's 1 million people here, fuck you, you're getting what we agreed upon. And if you want to renegotiate next show or the show after, you do it. So it's a double-edged sword. Promoters, you have the money to pay the wrestlers whatever the agreed amount is. And sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, but whatever it is, you're honest and you have that. But on the other hand, if the fucking place is goddamn packed to the brim and you're fucking like dancing in goddamn money and a wrestler comes up to you and be like, well, we agreed on $100, but it was packed. Give me more than $100. You tell them to fuck off. You're like, no, fuck off. Fuck off. That's it. I think pay is absolutely ridiculous in the indies, and I think it's fucking a bunch of goddamn con artists. Phil Stamper, indie wrestler, manager, and all that. He did a video on it, but he mostly did it just through the wrestler's eyes. I think you have to do it through the promoter's eyes and the wrestler's eyes. You agree to a set amount, and that's what you pay. If there's one fucking fan there, you pay the agreed set amount. If there's 12 billion people there, I don't know how you're going to fucking fit them in that building, but hey, good luck. You pay the agreed amount. That's it. It's just fucking being professionals. This is one common sense. No one fucking does it. No one does it. And a lot of people that don't run indie feds or don't know anything about indie wrestling, you're going to be like, of course. Why the fuck wouldn't you do that? And it never fucking happens. Even big companies. Local cable companies, you can advertise on Raw and SmackDown and Impact and all the other things. Back in the day, they had reality shows like Hogan Knows Best and shit like that. You can just go and advertise on those. Cable advertisement still does pretty goddamn well to get pro wrestling fans in there. And that's it. I have no idea. Like, it's so fucking simple. But yet, 90% of the fucking feds don't do it. It's absolutely insane. It's insane. They'd be like, all right, we're going to fucking advertise on all the local wrestling television shows, locally on cable. And they're like, ooh, why is Dave with very little fucking money outdrawing me? And I spent $9 billion on my roster and I have shiny flyers. Do you advertise on Raw, SmackDown, Impact? Hogan Knows Best? No? Well, then you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, television ads still do great. And also, if media want to cover it, fuck that kayfabe shit. People would be like, oh, we got to fucking protect the business, kayfabe. Yeah, we said fuck that. Come on in, reporters. And we had newspaper article written about us. Television shows locally, just fucking news loved us because we just came in like, can we do this, do whatever the fuck you want. You might get a newspaper article that's like, oh, pro wrestling isn't real. Like, wow, you fucking scooped us there. You went to fucking school for that? Journalism? You fucking idiot. But here's the thing. We had a newspaper article, basically, and this was in the late 90s, so fucking it's crazy. That was like a front page thing in the newspaper about how pro wrestling isn't real. Our attendance shot up. So, treat reporters great. Treat the media good. I see indie wrestlers all the time. I remember, I won't throw them under the bus, but a very famous promoter and a very famous national organization. When I came there, they were just so unprofessional. And no one ever wrote stories on that. They had Tommy Dreamer right after ECW. Not Tommy Dreamer now, Tommy Dreamer right after ECW. And had less than 25 paid. And then I was like, oh man, maybe we should write a story on it and do a report on it. They're like, oh fuck, we don't do media. Well, good luck. Good luck with that, champ. Fucking good luck with that. Kayfabe's still alive, right? The big thing about indie wrestling is how important is the internet and how unimportant is the internet. There are promotions that out there that will just Facebook, and that's all they'll do. That's wrong. But then there's other promotions like, oh, we don't use the fucking internet. Fuck the internet. That is wrong. The internet is a great tool, but it's not the only tool. You should have a nice website. You should have, a Facebook presence, a Twitter presence. You should be active. Because the thing is, people are going to hand you a flyer. You see the website. They're going to check out the website. If the website looks like shit, it's just a marketing tool. It's not the only marketing tool. Too many people worry about just Facebook. I have a best friend running an indie fed now, and he's like, how do I go viral on Facebook? I don't know. How about you fucking worry about going viral and fucking filling up your goddamn seats around your ring, champ? So the internet, when I go to an indie guy, they're like, oh, fuck the internet. I don't have to use the fucking internet. I'm like, all right, caveman. And then you have the other ones is like, oh, I don't do flyers, I don't do television ads, I don't do fucking radio, I don't do media. All I do is Facebook. It's a tool. Use it and all that, but it's also a tool that can keep people going and it motivates the fan base and all that, especially if you run a lot of shows. The internet is important, but it's not the only thing. That's it. That's it. Tickets and flyers have to look professional. They just have to look good. Booking, there's a lot. I can do a whole separate video on booking, but I'll just do one key rule. Don't have the same type of match 2 times in a row. You know, if you have a tag team match and a tag team match, don't have it back to back. If you have a women's match and a women's match, don't have it back to back. I've ran enough shows where that if you run too many of the matches back to back, unless it's a special tournament or that's your gimmick, but if you're just an indie fed and you're like, oh, we got a bunch of mixed up matches, mix them up. I know New Japan doesn't do this, and it drives me crazy because as a New Japan fan, it feels like the first match before intermission is actually the kickoff of the show. It feels that way to me, you know, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. So, and I maybe do a whole nother show on booking. Don't call yourself a world champion if you never fucking leave your state. Just say heavyweight champion. Don't have too many titles. The more important the title, the longer the title reign should be. So yeah, stuff like that. Know what your image is. If you're just like, oh, we're just a pro wrestling company. Well, WWE is just a pro wrestling company, and they wouldn't even give such a shitty answer. And don't be TNA when Dixie Carter and Hogan are running it. You don't want to be a cheap version of WWE. You want, if you have mostly cruiserweights, if you have mostly women, if you want to be hardcore, if you want to, you know, and you could have other matches. Like ECW was a hardcore fed, and they had other matches. I think we were known as a hardcore fed, but we really didn't do that much hardcore. They're just like, oh, there's fucking Koco's fed. It's a hardcore fed, but there wasn't actually that much hardcore. You can have an image, know what your image is, and don't be fucking WWE light. WWE light, fucking, don't do that. So know your image, know what you're going for. If you're only going to run, like the easiest way to be a promoter and pat yourself on the back and go on YouTube and say you're a promoter is run one show a year with a lot of former WWE guys. You know, get the sponsors to pay for it, and then the tickets you just keep. And then you can pretend you're a promoter. But most of the time, you're not going to have access. I don't know. I know this is going to be a dick. I'm not throwing fucking shots here, but you're not really a promoter. You can promote anything that way. Promoter, I think you have to run multiple shows. I think you have to run weekly to be like a legit promoter. One big event, I think anyone can promote one big event a year. Unless you're a complete fucking moron. Especially if you have money. But, yeah. But promote your local stars. A lot of people, they'll put the local stars down below, try to make them ticket sellers, and sometimes that works. But here's the thing. If you can promote local stars and you can get the local guys over, you don't have to pay for WWE guys. WWE guys will come to you. You know, stars will come to you. If I listed off the people, let me put it this way. I'd probably be murdered. If I listed off all the stars that worked for me and what they got, what they were willing to work for me for because I drew, I would be murdered. I'd be like, oh my God, you fucking exposed the business, motherfucker. I'm going to kill you. But make local stars. Then those big stars will come at a cheaper price. Don't fucking have your local guys just sell tickets to cover the big guys. I honestly, I didn't have a name or television, a name, meaning a wrestler that's been on television until 2-3 years in. And it was such a huge shock. Absolutely amazing shock. People went crazy and our attendance shot up because it just felt like ECW, when it first started out, felt like it was Philadelphia's own. Find out, get that feeling where it's just like, we don't need to see WWE guys. We're here to support our own. This is our team. This is our federation. It will save you so much money in the long run. So much money. New Japan, all of them will come to you if you draw and just have a good show. And they'll fucking come to you so goddamn cheap. But if you come out there and you're like, hey, guess what? I got fucking Billy Gunn and I got WWE Legends and TNA stars, and you're going to always pay a lot of money. You're always going to pay a lot of money. But if you draw and you're getting, 200 to 500, but you're making a profit because it's so fucking low that you're running the show, people will come to you. We were running 4 or 5 shows a day, I apologize, 4 or 5 shows a week in our prime. And we just packed the places and none of that, but we had it where the buildings paid us. So like if we went to a building and it only drew like fucking 200, we'd be like, well, you got to promote it better, because like we already had a reputation. In pro wrestling and in promotions, if you can draw a house, people will start calling you. We'd be at all time and get phone calls. Bring, bring, hey, can you come into this? Bring, bring, can you come to this? And that's it. And eventually, you can build up a reputation. And once you build up a reputation, that's great, because, people will send their talent. People will just send their talent to you. Dirt cheap. So, yeah. I know it seems like today indie promoters don't promote and they don't get people there. And a big thing is getting people there without spending a lot of money. If you spend thousands and thousands of dollars and you draw 1,000 people, WWE is not interested in that. But you're like, holy shit, how much do you draw? You draw that 5 times a week? How much does it cost? Less than fucking booking the goddamn, NWO for the whole week? They're going to fucking look at that. And WWE is going to come to your shows. New Japan's going to come to your shows. So, you want to be successful without spending a lot of money. And that's it. It's the most obvious fucking thing in the world, and I know I'm going to get in the comments like, oh, fucking no shit. But no one's doing it. No one's doing it. And this is another thing. Believe in the product and have your people believe in it. If a wrestler shows up and gets his $500 and he's like, it's just a fucking indie fed, who gives a fuck? The fans are going to know. People are going to know. But if you get a fucking team of 10 to 20 fucking wrestlers that believe in the product, drink the Kool-Aid, because word of mouth advertising is still the best advertising in the world. But they gotta believe. And if they don't believe, you should get rid of them. You know what I mean? We had WWE legends. We had New Japan stars. We had, people from the Dudley, schools. We had TNA. They believed. They believed in the fucking product. You have to believe in the product. And not only that, but you might get one shithead. It's like, oh, fucking, why the fuck do people believe in this? Well, then fucking get rid of that shithead. Because here's the thing. Let's take Golem, Indie Joe. Not a knock on Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's the greatest human being ever that never worked for me in a million years. But let's just say you have Indie Joe. And Indie Joe, you say, hey, dude, you got to believe in the product. And he does believe in the product. And he goes to talk to wrestling fans. Then, bam. That's a sale. That's a ticket sale. But if you got Indie Joe and he doesn't believe in the product and he just goes to a fucking fan, he's like, just fucking see me on Tuesday at fucking down the street fucking prowrestling.net, then you got nothing. The people have to believe. And it's actually better to get rid of the people that don't believe than have them. It's It's just, dude, you have no idea if you get 20 athletes, we'll call them athletes, wrestlers, to believe in a product, how much that improves your product. And it's a very ego-driven thing. I always said it's the worst of sports and the worst of entertainment as far as egos go. But you got to get them to believe, and if they don't believe, send them on their way. And a big thing is partner up. A lot of indie promoters are like, I suck at promoting, you suck at promoting, and Bob sucks at promoting. Let's get together and suck at promoting. Don't partner up with anyone unless they have a skill you don't have, and vice versa. I teamed up with Ralph Mosca. Ralph Mosca, he was amazing at what I was bad at, and I was amazing at what he was bad at. He was amazing at dealing with sponsors and buildings, and I was amazing with dealing with talent, media, internet, and all that. So what you got to do is you got to make a team, but Robin Hood this shit, okay? And what I mean by Robin Hood is, anyone that's read Robin Hood, if you could beat him at something, then you could join his gang. That's what you got to do. Don't sign up because you're buddies. You got to treat it you got to treat it like a job. You got to treat it like a profession. I see too many people where it's just 6 fucking dudes hanging out in the back being like, yeah, we're running a promotion. Who's booking? Oh, I don't know. You got 6 fucking partners. You don't know who's booking. Good. Who's flyering? You don't know. And then you got 6 goddamn partners with a roster of 50 fucking dudes that might be wrestlers, might not be wrestlers. And you got fucking 6 people in the audience that probably snuck in for free. So only partner up with people, that is. And I think this is the most important one and the most common sense one. Treat the fans like you have to go there and it's got to be entertainment. You know, I see too many fucking promotions that just shit on the fans. They paid $5-10. Fucking entertain them. Entertain them. And like, there's little tips. If you are not in an injury storyline, if you're not in the main event, if you're not busted open, I don't give a fuck who you are. You need to be out there saying goodbye to the fans and thanking them. You'd be surprised how much that helps. You know, if you're the promoter, you're by that fucking back door shaking hands, thanking them for coming. Sometimes you'll see a guy and be like, man, that was absolutely shit. And then you shake their hand and you're like, hey, man, thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting our dream. It's really important. Thank you, blah, 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 blah. Just be kind to them. And remember, they're there to be entertained. A lot of times people are like, oh, the fans are here. Stupid fucking marks. Like, I had strict rules. And one of the strict rules was you can make fun of fans, but you can't make fun of the fact that they're wrestling fans. I wouldn't let you call them smarks. I wouldn't let you call them marks. Because it's dumb. Who does that in fucking entertainment? It's fucking dumb. You'd be surprised how much it fucking changes people just when the fans are exiting and the show is over. Have whoever's free standing at that door to sign autographs for the kids, to shake hands, to thank them. It's really, really important. And you remember, you're in the entertainment business. Even if you consider it a sport, even the Devil Rays, the Bucks, I'm from Tampa, but they take care of you. Even the UFC. Even the UFC, they treat you amazing. You have to treat the audience great. I've been to too many goddamn indie feds where, A, the fans leave and there ain't a goddamn soul fucking telling them goodbye. Thank you for coming. Not a soul. No one's selling anything to these fucking people. And then the fucking third thing is, it's like, you got like 10 people in a crowd and you're like, you stupid fucking smarks, you goddamn marks, you don't know. Worship me. And then here's the thing, like, oh, that's heel tactics. All right, it's a shitty heel tactic. Do something else to get over. And 90% of the faces on the indies do it too. They come out, they're jamming to Bruce Springsteen. They're like, I'm the good guy. Look at me. I got red, white, and blue trunks on. And then no one's clapping because fuck you. and you're like, oh, you guys are fucking slaughtered. No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. And it's funny too, because like with indie wrestlers, the ones that make it, the AJ Styles, the CM Punks, the Daniel Bryans, the Samoa Joes, the Daniel Bryans. I don't know if I mentioned Daniel Bryan, but Kenny Omega, Naito, all these guys who made it, Ibushi, when they were fucking wrestling in front of 10, 20 people, they all had one thing in common. They were kind. They were kind to the audience. Absolutely amazingly kind to the audience. But it's that one guy this is as far as he's going to make it, that will ruin your fucking company. So you got to keep an eye on that shit. All right, there's probably a million other shit, but I'm got a cold and I'm dying a little bit. So now it's promotion time. Ba-ba-dum. Hey, I might know how to promote a fucking wrestling company, but I don't really know how to promote a book. So why don't you go to Amazon? I'll put a link down in the doobly-doo. I wrote a book, Operation Freak Show. It comes out September 22nd, but you can get it for pre-order. It would mean the world to me. And a Kickstarter, the product is absolutely done. It's a little bit of e-begging, but you get a product with it. So I don't think it's e-begging as much as, hey, motherfuckers, buy my book. Worst salesperson ever. I think I just broke like 97 fucking rules that I put on this video. But it's basically about a bunch of hitmen / assassins who turn vigilante and start killing pedophiles. And then it questions if vigilantes could ever be good and all that stuff. So please check it out. There'll be a better description down below. I should have pitched this maybe earlier. Or maybe I should do like a rehearsed pitch and then put it... forget it. You guys know what's up. Anyway, if you buy the book, I'll do a Stump the Idiot just for you. And it would mean a lot. This is the first of 60 plus in this universe. And I just want to make sure that it does good. It's less than $6. And if we sell enough of them, Amazon will kick in, our publishers will be happy, and we can get the books out a lot faster. So, a little bit of e-begging, but hey, you're getting a book, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm hoping this week I'm off, so I'm hoping to do a lot more shows, and hopefully, even the more experienced promoters, I hope you learned something. And who knows, maybe I'll do a book, maybe I'll do more stuff like this. It's just a lot of people asked me, and I was kind of, not intimidated, but I didn't know if it was a good idea or not. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. And I'm dying. KocoSports.net. Operation Freak Show. With that, I am over. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum.